Yeah.
So tell me when you want to start.
It has.
Oh, has it started?
Yes.
Oh, then we can edit this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay then. Okay. Wajji Khalsa, Wajji Fateh. Thank you, and welcome to the Conscious Living in sunny Oxford. And here we have Danielle, Karanjeet, Kaur, and really, you know, what we want to do was talk about the loving aspect of Thanksgiving, because it's such a big event. There's so much happening today, and you'll bring, I'd say, a little bit of, you know, American into England. Okay, tell us about the culture. So please do tell us more.
Thanksgiving is a really important holiday in the American calendar. And it's something that I've celebrated in the UK since I was a kid. My parents used to celebrate it as a regular party every year and would invite all kinds of people to take part, and I've kind of continued the tradition now.
Okay.
What American Thanksgiving is about is it's actually the time in which there's more movement of people in the United States at that time than at pretty much any other time in the year, because everybody wants to go home to be with their family at that time.
Okay.
And basically it's a big lunch. Everybody eats a lot of food, talk about a lot of things, get together.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice for you to get together.
Yep, she just wants to stand up. So everybody gets together and spends time reflecting on family and friends, and it originated with the first settlers to the United States, having survived a very harsh winter with the help of Native Americans to work on crops and what was available then, and it was a very, very difficult time for them. And so when it came around to the anniversary of their first winter, getting through the winter, they had a very large dinner essentially to give thanks to God for having survived the winter, as they were Puritans, they had a very strong Christian faith, and then they invited the Native Americans along, according to the common history of it, to take part in this feast. And so now it's celebrated as this big event where people generally sit around, eat a lot of food, and watch American football. Because there's big sporting events on that day.
How would you say it's evolved? Because it would have changed slightly, but the essential, like say for example, we were talking earlier, and we were just talking about the aspects of Thanksgiving, and I think I would be fair to say that most of us down here don't understand the aspect of Thanksgiving. Many people, they assume it to be part of Christmas, but it's very different in aspect. Now, it's stayed the same, really, hasn't it? The actual essential core of Thanksgiving.
Well, the essential ideas have more or less stayed the same, but it wasn't celebrated as a big holiday, I think, until perhaps 150 or 200 years ago, or 150 years ago, because there was a drive to make it into a holiday and then to make it more kind of a regular thing and a big thing in the American calendar. But right now it's become this enormous thing, and it's become a thing where people really do spend a lot of time together with their families. We have a lot of
That's
family.
what we're chilling out on Thanksgiving Day over here.
All of our friends and family with us.
Yes. And we do have more people. Oh, we have a lot of people here.
Lots of people
here.
Lots and lots of food.
Why don't we do a quick
pan everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
All fans of the Eat Conscious show here.
Yeah. And I think that actually, you know, one aspect of what I was saying about the original, the myth of the original Thanksgiving, the idea of Native Americans and white settlers sitting down, which of course is, you know, blown apart by years of really horrible history, but that's the myth of the original Thanksgiving. It's a good kind of lesson to draw, actually, because the idea is that different people can sit and eat and break bread together, and that's a really good thing.
Wow, we have a lot of similarities, even within the Sikh aspect as well.
Absolutely, it's in that sense, it's almost like a big festival of Langar.
Yes.
And they do. At Thanksgiving time there are a lot of can drives in the States. People do. They try and get a lot of food for the poor as well. Okay. So that's important too. But yeah, it's a great time, and it's something where everybody gets together, and you invite all of your friends and family, as we've done. You stuff more people than you could possibly stuff into a house, and you give everybody more food than they could possibly.
Does that sound so familiar, Sangatji? Yes.
Yes, it's exactly
Yeah.
very similar to I think a lot of Sikh households.
Yes.
So our Sikh household also, and it's a wonderful thing, and I feel that that is it's a situation in which the values of Sikhi really align with the values of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, one thing that I really love about it is that it's a non-denominational holiday.
Okay.
It is celebrated. It's one of the reasons it's such a big deal in America. It's celebrated by everybody. It is not a religious holiday at all. And so Jews, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, everybody, and of course Sikhs all celebrate Thanksgiving in the U.S. Whether they do it with a tofu turkey or a real turkey or whatever they.
But
they
the
want
essential aspects of Thanksgiving.
Yes, everybody celebrates it. So that's what it's about, and I think that. It crosses over the values. One of the reasons that it's become such a big thing for me personally, apart from the history of my parents celebrating it, is that it has a lot of values in common with Sikhi about, being with all of your Sangat. Whether it's a different way of understanding Sangat, I suppose, but all the people that
people who basically get together, have something in common, and go towards a common goal. Well, I think. It makes a lot of sense.
Well, you're good company, you know, and so you bring all of your Sangat together and you enjoy your Sangat and value your Sangat and be grateful for having them in your life, all of those people who make your life worth living, and it's a time of giving thanks to God, of course, as well.
Wow.
So it's actually really in alignment with a lot of Sikh values, and so it's become a particularly big thing on our calendar. And we are so delighted to have you again this year, and we hope you'll be here next year again.
Well, listen, thank you so much for inviting us. Honestly, it's such a relaxed, chilled out aspect.
And if anybody else wants to come and visit our house, no, I'm only kidding.
But isn't that so nice? Because we can understand that somebody just from a general point of view, the openness that is so American as well. Just come on over aspect. We can understand from a Punjabi point of view, and also
it's kind of a very common cultural thing to a Punjabi house party.
Yes.
And everybody's stuffed in, and there's a lot of kids running around as well. So.
I mean, and what's nice is even from the Sikhi point of view, today's aspect even for Sikhs as well, because it's a good thing. Guru Gobind Singh Ji, Guru Tegh Bahadur. See, I got to learn this as well. Okay. But it's a very aspect. So Sikhs are celebrating for Thanksgiving, and also from the Sikhi point of view. So it's been a nice day where we've been relaxing here amongst kids, chilling out. So
this is part of Thanksgiving, is having your conversation interrupted by children.
Oh,
so yes, it's part of the whole deal. Having a big ethical, moral, or political conversation, having far too many people in your house, eating far too much food, and being interrupted by children.
Well, listen, and I don't think you would disagree. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
God, oh, my goodness.